Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the cryptocurrency market this Monday as Bitcoin has broke out to 40,550 with today's daily candle high, testing the 100-day moving average exactly as we predicted yesterday. After breaking out of 34,788, we saw the momentum and the volume come in. Not a coincidence for those that have been tuned into the Snipers channel. And now the question is this going to continue to see sideways price action and maintain itself inside of this channel, or are we going to see a true breakout beyond this 100-day moving average to test the 200-day moving average, where we also have confluence now with home base, which is the 20-week moving average at 44,800. And we all know here, if you're above the 20-week moving average, you're in a bullish trend. If you're below the 20-week moving average, you are not in a bullish trend. So this is the real area that we want to get to if we want to assume a bullish continuation to possibly even see new all-time highs for Bitcoin. But none of that's going to be on the table until the bulls can rescue Bitcoin above 40,000 US dollars, where we have the 100-day moving average and this channel resistance that we've been monitoring over the last 2 months. Today is a very important day because we have a lot of things that are morphing into different patterns, and that is changing the storyline about what we're going to be monitoring over the next few weeks. The first thing is Bitcoin is finally above the 50-day moving average. So now we can start talking about what a rescue operation is going to look like. And I talked about this $40,000 level yesterday being the target where we're going to see resistance. And if we look at what's happening to the Bitcoin CME futures chart, notice how we do have a gap now at 34,420 all the way to 32,930. We want to keep this in mind. However, CME gaps over the last few months have really not been too reliable. Actually, throughout this whole bull cycle for Bitcoin, CME gaps have not been too reliable. You can see we've had many gaps that have not been filled. And so, you know, in traditional markets, we like to say that gaps always get filled, but this is not too big of a puzzle piece, but it is on the table. We also want to look at the Bitcoin perpetual contracts on Binance yesterday with a candle high of 48,168. This is a scam wick in my books. This is an abnormal wick that wasn't reflected on spot exchanges for the most part. That's a big puzzle piece. Were we just clearing shorts to see further downside? I want to talk about something that happened in 2019 for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin initially had a death cross in 2019, we saw a 40% rally to the upside in 3 days. It was an abnormal push to the upside. This is what we're going to talk about today. Notice how we had this drop where we came below 10,000 US dollars in October of 2019. And in 3 days, we saw a 40% push to the upside above all of the moving averages right when there was a death cross, right? And we recently had a Bitcoin death cross. And then from there, we just kind of slowly shedded away the gains until seeing further lows. And then we started to continue further up. We just formed one lower low, and then the March 2020 came. Of course, this could have been deemed abnormal activity. We potentially could have just continued further up after forming this lower low after the 40% push to the upside. So does that mean that Bitcoin right now is following a similar pattern where it's pushing to the upside, but it's potentially going to shed away some of these gains and then continue back down to test 34,788, where we have the monthly and weekly open, to then potentially slowly come down to finally discover the $26,000 to $24,000 level before seeing continued upside? This is something that's certainly on the table. We're going to talk about this happening, and then of course we'll also cover the revolving parts of the cryptocurrency market, like Bitcoin dominance, others dominance in the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, and then Ethereum, which leads a lot of the altcoins. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Obeidi. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can hit 100,000 snipers on this channel. Let's first look at the weekly chart. We really want to dissect what's happening here. So I talked about 44,800 US dollars yesterday as a potential upside target if we can get above 34,788. But I also said that the first area of resistance is going to come at this $40,000 level. We know there's a lot of people that got into Bitcoin above 40,000 or at 40,000 that have been at a loss for quite some time now, that most likely wanted to exit their positions when we saw the price action get here. And that's why we saw a rejection at 40,000 so far. We haven't yet come to the 20-week moving average. That's totally fine. This is why we can now talk about this scenario more in depth. We go into the daily time frame where everything morphs from the smaller time frames into the larger time frames. Notice how Bitcoin wicked to this 100-day moving average in the $40,000 level. And so far, we have a daily candle with 42 minutes left to close. We do have a bearish tail. This is something we have to keep on the table, that this is a bearish tail daily candle closing right now. On the 4-hour chart, if we were to look at where the volume is at, notice how we didn't see spectacular volume in this push to the upside, and we came up and we immediately got rejected here at the channel resistance. So here's what I'm watching at this point. There are a few ways this is going to play out. If it's going to play out the way that it played out in 2019, we're going to at some point come back down to 34,788 to test the monthly and weekly open along with the extremely important level here. At this point, because we finally saw a push of almost 40%, literally 39.32%, if Bitcoin continues below 34,780 at this point, I believe there is a potential we will see further price levels to the downside at some point or another in the next few weeks or months. But here's where this could change. If Bitcoin maintains 34,788, especially if it maintains 36,500, and definitely if it maintains 38,000, we are seeing strength that could potentially retest the $40,000 level in the next few days to continue to that $44,800 level. It could happen at any one of these levels, but we just want to know that the real level that needs to hold is 34,788 at this point. The CME gaps actually are below this level, so that's some food for thought, but I don't believe that if Bitcoin has a garden variety retest of 34,788 and it does break, that it's going to just continue further up. I think that if this breaks one more time, we're back inside of this range. We already saw the 40% push. There's a very high chance we see one more lower low form, and that's on the table. That's what I'm monitoring right now when it comes to the new schematics that are forming after this breakout. And it's crazy because literally within hours after making my video yesterday, I said there was going to be a Bitcoin move. If we broke 34,788, the momentum was going to come in because there was so much confluence. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. So congratulations for those that have been tuned into the Cypress channel. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, remember to subscribe to the channel. We want to hit 100,000 snipers on this channel. So let's look at the Bitcoin USDT perpetual contracts chart. Why did we see a wick all the way up to the $48,000 level when spot exchanges weren't reflecting that? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. To me, this says that we potentially could have just been clearing shorts to potentially see further downside. That's on the table. We have to keep that in mind. And then we have the Bitcoin CME gaps. Now, how are the revolving parts reacting to this push? Well, interestingly enough, as soon as we started talking about Bitcoin dominance, potentially seeing a reversal here soon to test the 20-week moving average, we're now inside of this ascending triangle, and it really looks like Bitcoin has the chance to test this 50-week moving average or this 20-week moving average, which is home base. This is going to be something we want to monitor over the next few days into the next few weeks, because if we break above, now we can talk about potential rescue operation for Bitcoin dominance. This would also change the mindset with altcoins, because it doesn't mean altcoin season is going to be over, but it does mean that it might not be the highest performing asset in the market, because Bitcoin could still outperform some of these assets if it starts to increase in dominance. And sometimes when there's a lot of fear in the market, you need these type of relief rallies for Bitcoin dominance to bring back confidence of the storage of value in the cryptocurrency market. This is the alpha dog and the alpha asset of the market. So it's never a bad thing for Bitcoin dominance to see strength. I'd love to see this 20-week moving average get tested and broken. That would be really cool. We can start monitoring what Bitcoin dominance is planning to do, if it's going to be a true reversal or not. So I think that's the big thing to monitor. But others' dominance is not becoming bearish yet. We're still having a cup of coffee, this 200-day moving average. That's a positive thing. So we want to monitor that along with Bitcoin dominance and the total cryptocurrency market cap chart wicking into the 200-day moving average around 1.6 trillion, but back down below 1.5 trillion now, close to the monthly and weekly open. That doesn't look too good. So really the question is, where's the volume at, right? The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is holding this previous weekly open right now. So we want to monitor this. If we see continuation to the downside, 53,500 is next. That could potentially garner more opportunities. Ethereum to the US dollar price tried to get above the monthly open, didn't really get there, it only wicked above it now on this daily candle. So that's some food for thought. Some very interesting things unfolding right now. And a lot of this has to do with what's happening to the DXY. And I want to really emphasize right now that the DXY is testing 92.62 right now. There's a reason the body of this candle is maintaining this. If this is a garden variety retest to continue further up, that's the worst case scenario that we want to see for Bitcoin. The best case scenario is going to be if this 92.62 level breaks and the DXY comes back down to just continue to be calm inside of this channel range instead of this channel range. That's what we want to see for the potential for Bitcoin to continue further up. But if we see the scenario of this channel being, the play field that the DXY wants to play in, that could certainly hurt the cryptocurrency market. And the gold to Bitcoin chart we've been monitoring, check this out, had this ascending triangle, this cup and handle formation, but now it's breaking down. This candle low today, much and below the candle low of this initial handle. This could be invalidating the cup and handle pattern, and we could be seeing Bitcoin regain itself against gold. That's some good food for thought there when it comes to where you want to allocate some of your positions that you're potentially trying to hedge away from traditional markets, like we know institutions are going to be doing. And this week, traditional markets are, of course, open. So we're going to monitor the S&P 500 a little bit further as we head into the depth of this week. But for now, the major levels for Bitcoin, 38,000, 34,788. I think we get back above 38,000 4-hour and hourly candles. There's a high chance we could test 44,800 because that could put us back towards this resistance. You knock on a door for a second time, the likelihood of that breaking becomes highly likely. But if we stay below 38,000, this daily candle closing in 35 minutes, we have this bearish tail that we have to keep on the table. And we know that the next area that will potentially come and test is this $34,780 level. And now this is going to give us the make or break moment, because if we break below this, we also break back below the 50-day moving average. That's not what we want to see. We really want to see this floor hold. And with that, I appreciate each and every one of you snipers tuning into the channel. I want to give away Principles by Ray Dalio, one of my favorite books on value investing. If you want to win this book, comment below and share this video. You'll have a chance to win. Mark De Jesus says, best technical analysis. Thanks, Naeem. Please don't be tired on what you're doing right now. God bless you more, brother. Well, you guys keep me motivated. I couldn't do this without you. And I appreciate each and every one of you snipers tuned into the channel once again. Until next time, snipers.